Lu Nu-shi was trudging to work at the Human Affairs Attachment in the police force of the Nyoyo-chufyu Station. The station was a waypoint between Tikshov 4 and Seoul 3, also known as Earth. The station was not on the superhighway, but on a highway between the cradles of the humans and the TIFF. Both the highway and the station were considerably cheaper for travellers than the more direct and fast superhighway. As such, the station attracted people of less means or less amiable character, as well as petty criminals, or, in the case of humans, the crazier element. There was a sizable middle-class population, and even a small upper-middle-class district. Here, they were the elite, the upper crust, even the idle rich. Unfortunately, there were the idle poor as well, happily living on benefits. It was suspected the world some of them hailed from were paying them a stipend to stay away. It was not that they lived in a gutter or squalor. They just, as a class, were seemingly not bothered by vent covers hanging by one screw, and other signs of superficial but general disrepair and neglect. The TIFF, however, had no such class divide. They all resided in the middle-class parts of the station. Only a very few lived in the area of the rich, and similarly in the poorer parts of the station. The TIFF police officers had practically no experience or even mental reference to cope with the cases in the poorer neighborhoods. For that reason, the Human Affairs Attachment was created. Nu-shi was a single mother of 4 and needed the bump in pay the work provided. Instead of paying child support, her ex-husband had expired in a drunken bar brawl. She received benefits, yes, but not enough to keep living in the apartment and the lifestyle her kids were used to. So there she was, dealing with the outrageous on a daily basis. Without the sparse shows of the better parts of the human condition, she would have surely despaired of her species. She had practically just arrived at the office she shared with 5 other police officers and 3 dispatch or front desk workers, all working in 3 shifts, when the first call came in. An automatic call said there was an unauthorized campfire. At the same time, someone called to inform of a naked human dancing in public. As the 2 calls originated from the same street, in all probability they were related. Originally, when the station was built with great aspirations, all the streets were lined with trees. Over time, some neighborhoods descended into a state of dilapidation, and the trees became a liability. They became torches, battle rams, and wrecking balls. The wood was fashioned into spears, clubs, and mallets. As uncontrolled fire is a particular hazard on a space station, the trees were removed from the most troubled neighborhoods. All flammable materials were replaced with things made of metals and non-flammable foams, and yet there was a campfire detected by automated systems. The concurrent call of a naked dancer was a strong inclination that the fire was man-made. Nu-shi sighed as she put on her fire-resistant gear. The regulations called for them to be worn all the time, but they were very restricting and cumbersome, and they made the wearer extremely sweaty. Nu-shi was already not happy with the call. When she arrived at the fire, she was decidedly disgruntled. With a heavy sigh, she watched a fully naked, bearded human male dance around a campfire of clothes, drenched with some off-smelling cleaning supplies. Not only was the man dancing naked around his fire, he was dancing in and out of it, his shin showing blackened skin. He was also chanting in an unknown language, and laughing. Chantingly laughing. Laughing during the chant, incanting while cackling. The sight could have been amusing to her, except for the tapered metal pipe the man was shaking in his right hand. His eyes looked crazed, and he was obviously agitated. When Nu-shi came closer, the man swung the pipe at her. She took a careful step backward, while her backup, or 3 TIFF officers, scrambled away, screaming. The commotion distracted the man, who then slipped on the burning clothes. As a consequence, he fell into the fire. Nushi stepped to the man whose beard and hair had caught fire as well, and pulled him out of the fire. The automated fire suppression system was then able to launch extinguishing foam onto the fire. As the man had stopped his chanting and was now whining, the paramedics were able to put out the fire on his person and treat him. Summer solstice ritual that took a bizarre turn, Nushi wrote to the incident report, after an interview with the man. She could still just hear the man chanting in the holding cell. She needed a shower and a cold drink, but those had to wait, since she still had 5 hours left in her shift.